Well, once again, good afternoon and welcome to today's webinar, The Postal Service and its Cost Reduction Plan. What is it thinking? The latest in an ongoing series of educational webinars from WindowBook. My name is Wallace Vinglis and I'm Vice President here at WindowBook. Joining me today are Dr. Gene Del Polito here as a special guest presenter. For the past 27 years, Dr. Gene Del Polito has served as the President of the Association for Postal Commerce in Washington, D.C. Gene is highly regarded within the postal community as an effective advocate on behalf of those who mail for business, communication, and commerce. Among the many industry awards Gene has received are Postcom's J. Edward Day Award, Postcom's Lee Epstein. Gene serves on the Postmaster General's Mailer Technical Advisory Committee and has been a member of a number of Postal Service industry work groups and task forces over the years, as well as currently serving as Vice Chairman of the International Mailers Advisory Group. He is a frequent speaker at postal gatherings and conferences around the nation. Gene received his PhD and master's degree in audiology and speech science from Purdue University in Indiana, and his bachelor's degree in speech pathology and speech communication at Montclair State College in New Jersey. Today's webinar will discuss the enormous financial crisis the Postal Service is experiencing and what they're planning to do to get out of it. It will also discuss responses and plans from both Congress and the President. Now, let's begin. We've all heard the Postal Service is losing money hand over fist and is going out of business. Well, no one truly believes they're going to be padlocking the doors at L'Enfant Plaza any day soon. But the USPS's financial crisis is real, and drastic steps have to be taken to right the ship and right it soon. A number of members of Congress have stepped up and made proposals about how best to fix things, and now even the President has got this on his radar screen. Gene is going to be talking about all this and more during what promises to be one of the liveliest webinars WindowBook has ever presented. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Gene Del Polito. Good afternoon, Gene.
As Wallace has said, these are kind of unprecedented times for the U.S. Postal Service, and this is probably the most significant challenge I remember the American postal system ever facing, probably since the time immediately before the Postal Reorganization Act of 1971, when there was a hell of a catastrophe associated with work that was not being moved fast enough, under-staffing, under-resourced, which led to the Postal Reorganization Act to try and pay attention to it. But here now, however, the Postal Service is literally facing the worst fiscal crisis it has ever faced in its entire history. In fact, if you go to the Postcom website periodically, each quarter we post the Postal Service's most recent fiscal report, and what you'll notice is that from quarter to quarter, the Postal Service's net income position has gotten worse and worse and worse. As a matter of fact, it's no longer appropriate to talk about net income. It's more appropriate to talk about net loss, because it seems as if that's the only thing the Postal Service has been demonstrating over the past couple of quarters. What they'll show you is that they're losing the greatest amounts of mail volume and revenue from the first-class mail stream. That historically had been their largest category of mail. That also has been their most profitable category of mail. When you take a look at the most recent quarters, you'll find that standard mail is either flat or growing very, very slightly. There's some growth also within the parcel area, but the fact is neither one of them individually or even together can make up for the revenue loss that the Postal Service is facing today. The Postal Service's main problem is that it's handicapped by an enormous and costly physical and human infrastructure, which is having a hard time tailoring to more appropriately sized to meet what are the actual workload needs of today. As mail volume goes out of the system, obviously the number of facilities that the Postal Service needs to maintain in order to